next guest is the founder of MyFlo app. I want to welcome to the show Alisa Vitti.
Alisa.
I said that right.
You did.
Yeah, I
Thank
did.
you.
What does your app do?
So my app, the MyFlo app, it helps women not just track when they're going to have their period, because that's usually fairly obvious. It's really more about using the tracking of your symptoms to understand what is going on with your hormones, right? So understanding why are you having a symptom when you're having it, and what you can do from a functional medicine perspective to start relieving those symptoms naturally and safely. So the app tells you, oh, you're having cramps, you're having a breakout. Actually eat this, do this, and it will change how you're feeling in real time. The other really neat thing about the app is that it's based on some of the work from my new book, In the Flow, which is talking about how to leverage the infradian rhythm, which is this biological rhythm that women have in their reproductive years. So it teaches you how to optimize how you eat, which workouts to do, and even how you manage your time based on your actual biology.
So, Alisa, when I met you, we talked a lot about your daughter and managing work-life balance. How do you feel like understanding your body helps you do that as a mother?
Oh, leveraging my hormones is a huge secret weapon to making motherhood more sustainable. And I write a lot about that in the book, actually, because I think women feel this need to be this sort of level of perfection and sameness every day, but actually your brain chemistry changes up to 25% over the course of the month according to this infradian rhythm. And so knowing which of these brain changes are happening because they're predictable and reliable, you can plan play dates when that feels good for you and not when it feels stressful. You can do all like these things that help you be a super mom when that feels good to you and not when it's stressful. So it's really about going with the flow and not pushing and forcing all the time.
See, Alyssa, let me ask you this. My producers, some of them, they feel there's a lot of male bias in medical trials and research. Do you believe that is still true today? And if so, how does your app help to close that gap?
So it's not just a belief that they're having. That's an actual fact. In 1996, the National Institute of Health saw that this was such a problem, that women were being left out of clinical trials, that they actually issued sort of a special task force to get more women involved in clinical trials. As of 2016, the status report was that progress had been slim to none. So it is a huge problem.
All that time and no progress?
No progress. So, and what the result, the trickle-down effect is, women being left out of medical fitness and nutrition research equals more women struggling with hormone issues compared to men. So up to 47% of women now are struggling with hormone and autoimmune issues, and it's not even in the same galaxy when we look at the percentage of men struggling with these issues, and that's because we're being left out of the research. So it's really important that we have companies. The company I founded 10 years ago, Flow Living, is a company dedicated to modernizing hormone health care, and the MyFlo app is a part of the services and tools that we offer. But the idea is that we need healthcare and self-care that is tailored to our actual biology, not taking the crumbs of the research that says, oh, intermittent fasting is good for everyone, so hopefully it'll be applicable to women. But that research was only done on men and postmenopausal women.
And I hear women can't fast as long. I'm an intermittent faster, and I believe that the metrics are different. Like, I can go 17 hours, and for women, that's a little hazy.
Actually, it's correct. In your reproductive years, which I expand upon in great detail in the book, women cannot fast for longer than 12 hours, and that has to be done over an evening period. So like from dinner to breakfast. If you do anything longer than that 12-hour period, you will worsen insulin sensitivity. You will, increase weight gain. You will decrease.
That's just one example.
And shrink your ovaries. That's just one example. This is what I mean. When we leave women out of medical research, we're doing all the things that we're being told are good for us, but they're not actually good for us, and we get sick.
I'm confused, though, because women live a lot longer than men. Wouldn't you think that companies would be interested in doing more research on women because there's more profit motive? We have profit-driven medicine in this country.
I mean, I think that's a really interesting question, and I think that, women... I do think that more medical research
is a massive market opportunity.
It's a huge market opportunity, but I think that there's just some long-standing gender bias that needs to be addressed. And so
you said up till the year 2016, practically no progress was made. What about between 2016 and now?
It's the same. It's the same, yeah.
So how do we change that? Does that involve a cultural change, education, awareness of the problem?
I mean, I think it's a couple of things. I think first, just sort of having some safety guidelines within medical research that make everyone feel comfortable in including women, right? The issue is having women take experimental drugs in their reproductive years could have adverse effects on pregnancies, et cetera. But if we are, now in a time and a place where we can guarantee that someone is not going to become pregnant because they're taking, let's let's say birth control, then we can have safer trials, including women. But beyond the medical piece, just within fitness and nutrition, we could do this so much more safely without any of the concerns that have plagued the medical environment for research. And then that could start to really inform a more gender appropriate conversation in the media, right? So I think, for example, when a woman is reading wellness content and it says, oh, intermittent fasting or high intensity interval training is the best thing for you to be doing.
For me, maybe not for you too.
There should be some journalistic transparency to say, oh, but that research has only been done on this particular cohort, which happens to be male. And so you have to take that with a grain of salt.
And there's some ethnic bias too, correct? It tends to be certain ethnic groups that are overstudied.
There's all sorts of bias in research, and we have to do a better job of making sure that we're speaking clearly to people when they're trying to make important decisions about their health care and their wellness practices. And so as a pioneer of female biohacking, I'm simply here to say that women need to do their self-care and their wellness practices, eating, exercising, and everything else they're doing in a way that's actually aligned with their hormonal and biological reality, not doing the biohacking that works for guys. That just doesn't make any logical sense.
Well, I mean, in the edge of the corona, like this is more relevant than ever. We all take our health for granted, and if we don't understand our bodies, how are we supposed to stay healthy?
Exactly. I think women have been far too long in the dark about how their operating system works, right? We've been told this rhetoric of, oh, your mysterious hormones are problematic.
Mysterious? Women are mysterious. Oh, that mystery.
The rhetoric around our hormones is that they're mysterious, complicated, and problematic. And so because we have this sort of belief system about it, we try to avoid it. And we should instead really lean into these hormones because they're predictable, they're reliable, and they're your superpower.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm really happy I ran into
Thank
you
Alisa.
at an event.
Yes.
I personally recruited you. Where can we find your book and more about your app?
You can find the book at intheflowbook.com or wherever books are sold, and there are a lot of fun freebies on the In the Flow Book website. And you can find the app at myflowtracker.com, and you can find us on Instagram at Flow Living.
Awesome. Well, all the best to you, Alisa.
Yeah,
Thanks
good
for
luck
having
with
me.
all the work you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.